Hey, what's up guys? My name's Jared. Welcome to my channel. I've got some good updates for you today. We're going to be talking about the Honda, the Land Cruiser, and the Nissan. Kind of like always. But a lot of good news. So, the Honda, in my last video I showed you that the distributor was the problem, so it runs now. I still have the loaner distributor in the car, so it does still run and can be driven, but I didn't have the parts for the brakes. However, they did finally show up. So I finally got my order from Germany. So I've got the brake hoses for the front that I really needed. I've got the engine mounts, a bunch of other stuff, gaskets. I'd actually forgotten everything that I'd ordered because it'd been so long since I placed the order. But I've got that stuff. I registered the car. I just got the plates for it a few days ago. So it's legal to drive and it's insured now. So very, very soon I'm going to be taking this on an actual real drive. It's going to be a little while before I post a driving video of the car because I want to break in the engine kind of slowly. I'm not going to be getting it into the 9,000 RPM range for quite a while. I've read that you should put about 600 miles on it before you go over 6,000 RPM. I'm not sure that I'll be able to wait that long, but I definitely want to put some miles on it before I start getting into the higher RPMs. So once I can do that, once it's broken in, and I feel like it's safe to drive it at the higher RPMs, which obviously is the biggest and coolest thing about the car. So once I'm able to do that, I will, and then I'll get a video out of that. But it's going to be a little while because it's going to take me a while to put some miles on it. But that's excellent news. The Honda is so close. I will still be doing some other work on it. I still have to repair the rust in the trunk. You can see there for the wheel well. So I still need to repair that. And there's a few small rust holes in the passenger floorboard. So I've got to patch both of those. So that video may come out before I'm able to do the driving video with the car. But we're super close on this one, guys. Very excited about it. And I'm glad you guys are following along. In other news, the Nissan, I broke the engine down. I mentioned that there was some corrosion in the cylinders, so I pulled the pistons out. I honed these out a little bit. Everything's going to be fine in there, I think. I had to get a book, like the shop manual, so I knew the torque specs to put everything back together. And I've also ordered this gasket. I'm going to go ahead and take this front piece off, just so I can be completely sure that that timing chain is correct before I get too far along. But this all looks good. You can see here I've got all the pistons out, and obviously the engine has been rebuilt. These are aftermarket pistons, and they're oversized, so that's all good news. The engine has been rebuilt. It also didn't seem to have many miles on it, so that was all correct. The head, this is the head for it. There's some corrosion on some of these valves and in the valve seats because, like I said, it sat for a long time and they didn't cover it up. They didn't do anything to protect it. They just let it sit for a really long time. So now there is some issues with the seating, or there could potentially be issues with the valve seating. So I am going to pull the valves out and lap those. Hey, Walter. What's up, buddy? Come to say hi. What's up, Walter? But yeah, so I do have a little bit of work to do on the head before I want to put that back in. But everything else looks pretty good. I'm hoping not to have any real issues with that engine. And hopefully it can be together and back in the truck pretty quickly. So that's the Nissan. But the other big news is this. I finally got the Land Cruiser engine back from the machine shop. So they had to put in at least one, I think maybe two sleeves. And then they bored it out. You can see I got the block here. I also had the flywheel resurfaced, so I got that back. And then they redid the head. So they surfaced the head. They replaced I believe it was the exhaust valves, but they replaced all of those valves. The head looks really good. They did a really good job cleaning it up. I'm pretty happy with that. And then the crank, they had to grind the crank, and so now I have to order a set of oversized bearings before I can put that back in. And then you can see here, I've got all new pistons. These are oversized. So that's all good. New rings. This is new rod bearings for here. The cam, this is the original cam. They didn't do anything to the cam, and I'm noticing these bearings don't look very good here. This looks like it's had like no contact at all. So I've got to figure out what I need to do. If you guys have any advice, let me know. I'm assuming that I'm going to need to order a new set of bearings for the cam. And maybe a new cam, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. At this point, you know, I want to make sure I do everything right. I don't want to cut any corners now. And I also, you know, the oil pump has been removed. I'm going to replace that at this point too, because I know that's an important thing to do. So I've still got some stuff I've got to order some parts. I've got to figure out my next move on some of these things, and then I've got to order the parts before I can start putting this thing back together. But at least we have it back, which is good news. So I am going to bring the frame back in here very soon, probably within the next few days, so that by the time I get the parts for this engine, I can just put it all back together and get it back on the frame. But so that's all good news. I guess that's pretty much it. Kind of a quick update this week, but all good stuff. I mean, all the cars are really making some good progress now. The Honda's most likely going to be on the road in a few days. Things are looking really positive on the Nissan, and that engine will hopefully be back in there very quickly. And then finally, the engine is back for the Land Cruiser, so we're back on track with that one. I can start making videos for that one again. So I guess that's it for this week, guys. But thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.